So Harlem Bling came down and he apologized, and I accept your apology and I appreciate it, bro.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Eddie from Harlem Bling went down to Tracks NYC to visit Max to talk about this whole scenario. I didn't even get a chance to cover it because this thing has ended so quickly, but I have to say, I am very, very happy that it has ended because I like to see these guys have a nice, friendly relationship. I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at that video though, because there are a couple of differing opinions when it comes to Eddie, when it comes to Max. Let's talk about it on the channel today. Let me know what you guys think. The only thing that stays consistent is the grind. Keep on grinding. So Eddie goes down to Tracks NYC for a couple of reasons. Eddie wants to say sorry to Max for what he said to him in regards to his name. Gratefully, Max went ahead and took that apology.
Turning a positive into a negative or a negative into a positive, bro.
And that's what matters.
All right, my brother. Thank you, Harlem Bling.
I think at the end of the day, we all kind of knew that Eddie didn't mean anything derogatory. Eddie was just being Eddie, and Max is just always being Max. At the end of the day, if you watch enough of their content, I think you know where they're coming from. Eddie shows Max a Moissanite chain, and so Max is comparing diamonds to Moissanite in this video. He says that you have to look really close in order to see what that difference is. Now I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. When I saw those two chains next to each other, I knew exactly which one was diamond and which one was Moissanite.
So, I mean, you know, there's a certain life to these chains. We'd have to experiment them with the different types of lights, but
I know a lot of people say that you need different lighting and all that stuff, which is true. Lighting and angles and all that stuff will make a huge difference, but I knew from the very second that video showed those two chains which was diamond and which was Moissanite. The way you can tell is because the diamond has more of a black and white type of a shine, type of a flare to it. It doesn't look as crisp and clear and rainbowy in color as the Moissanite. The Moissanite glitters like a rainbow. That thing is like throwing glitter around the room. Diamonds, they flash different. They flicker different. So that's why I tell people, when you want to mimic a diamond, you don't necessarily want to think that Moissanite is just the way to go. Most people don't really know the difference. But when you have someone who watches jewelry the way I do and the way many other people do, you will know the difference. So according to Max, the diamond chain, you can't really see through it. Why might you not be able to see through it? Now, I don't know if Max was using a lab-grown diamond chain or if he was using a from-the-earth diamond chain. That may have to do with it. At the end of the day, when something's being made in the earth, it's going to have a lot more imperfections than if it's made in a sterile lab condition.
you know, the diamond chain, if you could ask me what the hell is going on, the diamond chain has a lot more, you can't really see through it like you do the Moissanite. But when you...
Moissanite, most Moissanite, and Eddie's Moissanite in this video, I am sure is top quality. So Max is looking at a top quality Moissanite. I would love to know what type of diamond he was comparing that to.
You do the Moissanite, but when you're wearing the Moissanite piece, bro, you know, you might pull it off and whatever. For a deal, you could go to Harlem Bling. You want the real thing, and you gotta come down to the Diamond District, you know. So this is yours.
If you're wearing a Moissanite piece, you might be able to pull it off. Max is telling us that, yeah, you might be able to fool some people by wearing Moissanite. You might be able to fool a couple of people. Like I just said, if you have somebody out there who doesn't really know what they're looking at, they may be fooled into thinking that's a diamond, even though it's not a diamond. If you want the real deal, though, you have to go down to the Diamond District. And you can kind of see, Eddie seems to be taken a little back. I think Eddie is kind of like, hey, bro, you know this looks amazing, and you don't want to admit it on camera. Eddie's being real nice right now because Max was kind enough to take his apology and show the world that Eddie apologized and accept it. So, hey, listen, I'm glad that Max and Eddie are getting along, but I can tell that Eddie is kind of like, bro, you can admit it. You can tell me the Moissanite looks amazing. You're over here telling me it even looks clearer. You got Max saying, yeah, we might need to experiment with different lighting, which tells you that both those chains in front of his eyes look incredible.
You know what I'm saying? But don't forget you did it out of the goodness of my heart because I didn't want you to struggle and so on and so forth. We want to turn negatives into positives. And that's
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
But Max didn't want Eddie to struggle. I'm grateful for that because at the end of the day, I think Max knew where Eddie was coming from, and I think Eddie knows where Max comes from. And at the end of the day, listen, this was great publicity for both of them.
100%, by the way, Maqsood, you're right. This video was only done from the goodness of your heart, and that's why it's possible.
And so Eddie agrees. This video was only done out of the goodness of Max's heart. Max was willing to go ahead and make things easier on Eddie. Eddie got a little carried away, but hey, sometimes people get carried away. Not making excuses. We all have to respect one another at the end of the day. We're all playing in the same ball field.
And I really appreciate you speaking about my jewelry honestly, like you do on your channel about a lot of other issues, and not lying, and really telling people your honest opinion.
So Eddie said that he is very happy that Max gave his honest opinion about Eddie's jewelry. Eddie respects Max and his opinion. Now, I just want to say, personally, I feel like Max was holding back a little bit. I could be wrong, but I feel as though Max probably realizes, holding that jewelry in his hand, that this is magnificent, that this is something incredible. I really truly feel like that. I could be wrong. There's no way anybody can tell whether, he was being honest or not. At the end of the day, he's selling diamonds, not moissanite. What do you guys think in the comments?
The only thing I might disagree with your phrasing, Tracks NYC, if you're watching, let me know what you think, is you're saying for the real deal, go to the Diamond District. For a deal, go to Harlem Bling. And that by wearing this chain, you might pull it off. By saying that, it feels to me like you're trying to tell the people that moissanite is not the real deal and that they're only wearing it to pull off a diamond chain look.
So Eddie feels that Max feels that moissanite is not the real deal. And that he's basically saying if you want a bargain, you can go ahead and buy moissanite. But if you want the real thing, you can go ahead and purchase diamonds. Eddie is saying that moissanite is a gemstone in itself, that it's not trying to be like a diamond. If you want a diamond look, do not buy a moissanite. So if you compare a diamond with perfect cut, perfect clarity, perfect color to a moissanite with all the same features, you will be able to see that a moissanite is not the same as a diamond. The light doesn't hit the moissanite in the same way that it does the diamond. Rather than a moissanite, which is a separate stone altogether. It's not trying to be a diamond simulant. It's not trying to be. They're not trying to be the same thing. If you want the look of a diamond, don't buy a moissanite because you're going to get a diamond look amplified by like a million. Eddie's saying that it's its own category. That's something I've told you guys many times in the past. If you guys have been watching the videos that I put out, I always say, moissanite is not trying to be a diamond, and a diamond is not trying to be a moissanite. They are two completely different things.
Moissanite is its own gemstone. It's a different stone. This is the real deal. This is a real stone. There's nothing fake about moissanite jewelry. It's the same thing as if you have a BMW. Is it a fake Mercedes? No.
And I love the analogy that Eddie gives. Is a BMW a fake Mercedes? We all know that it is not. They're two completely different cars. Yeah, you might argue one is better than the other, but at the end of the day, you're arguing apples and oranges because they're two completely different things. They're both cars, just like diamonds and moissanites are both stones, but at the end of the day, they have a completely different set of attributes, and that is for a reason, because they are separate products altogether.
Moissanite happens to be cheaper than diamonds or lab diamonds. Why? It's pure supply and demand, I guess.
Of course, there are other things, like for example, diamonds, they're dug out of the earth. You're paying for a whole bunch of other stuff that you're not dealing with when you go ahead and take a look at lab-grown diamonds. Lab-grown diamonds are so much cheaper than diamonds that come from the center of the earth. Moissanite is on par with lab-grown diamonds because it is created in a lab. But the difference is that, yes, many people don't even know that Moissanite exists. I know we're in 2022. I've been purchasing Moissanite since I was like 16 years old. So I know that it exists, but a lot of people have no idea. Diamonds, 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 diamonds. Everybody thinks diamonds are it. And that's why people think that Moissanite is a diamond when they see it on the street, if they are uneducated about it. Because that's all they know. Diamonds and CZ. That's all anybody knows. Nobody knows anything else. But Moissanite is here, and Moissanite is here to stay. Give it a little more time, guys. With the way things are going, Moissanite will be the new lab-grown diamond. I do believe that. Unless, of course, society can be duped.
Unless this whole of society could be duped to some degree or another.
Into thinking Moissanite is less valuable than a diamond.
Moissanite looks great. It passes the diamond tester.
Moissanite looks great, I have to agree. He also brought it up that it passes the diamond tester. I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't really care too much about the diamond tester. I know all these companies, when they send you their stuff, they're like, hey, check it with the diamond tester, check it with the diamond tester. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, does it look incredible? Yes. Will it last long? Yes. That's all I personally care about. I don't know about you guys. Diamond test this, diamond test that. I could care less about the diamond tester.
There'll be people, I'm sure, that will still buy diamond, natural diamond, lab-made diamond, tennis chains, earrings, whatever. And there'll be people that will buy Moissanite. One is not better than the other. This is the real deal. It is.
I agree, you will always have a different type of consumer. But at the end of the day, as Moissanite gets out there more, people start to trust it more, people start to see that it is holding up on its own. It doesn't need to be a diamond simulant in order to be amazing. People are going to start gravitating to it as they see the price is so much lower than even lab-grown diamonds. Honestly, I can't even believe that lab-grown diamonds are at the price point where they're at. They're pretty expensive considering they're made in a lab.
I was really amazed. The guy's price is lower. The quality of the diamonds that Tracks NYC is offering is on a different level.
And so Eddie says that he was really amazed with the quality that Max has in his shop. I think that we are all familiar with the fact that Max doesn't play around. He sells to a certain consumer class, and therefore he is going to have a certain amount of quality to his pieces. I truly believe Eddie when Eddie says that he had the best stuff on the block. And as far as the price goes, I got a lot of hate from people when I actually stood up for Max in the past, saying that his prices are up to him, and saying that maybe him haggling isn't that bad of an idea. Well, we have Eddie here saying that his prices are at a great price point for what you're actually getting. And not only are they already at a great price point according to Eddie, but you can even haggle it down according to Max.
Tracks NYC keeps it real. And for that, Maksud, I must commend you, brother. Different level quality, the variety that he has in the store is also just on a different level. Harlem Bling does not have that variety.
Eddie kind of puts himself down at this point in the video where he says that Harlem Bling does not have the type of variety that Max from Tracks NYC has. And I have to agree, he probably doesn't. But let me tell you something about Eddie and Harlem Bling. When you take a look at his website, Eddie has, I don't even know how many pages and pages and hundreds of items that this man stocks on his site. I have to say, Eddie was not always this big in the game, but he's slowly growing and growing and growing over time. Honestly, actually, he's not slowly growing. He's growing very, very quickly. And I have to say, I want to give a shout out to Eddie. I did a review on his watch. A lot of you appreciated that watch review. I gave you my honest opinions on it, okay? And I gave you an honest review on it. I never said it was the most high quality watch in the world. Never once did I ever say it. I'm not saying it's not quality, but I never once said it's the most high quality watch in the world. But what I did say was he put every single bit of effort into making that watch. Why? Because of all the attributes that I spoke about in that video. A lot of people were like, oh, his watch is garbage, his watch is this, his watch is that. At the end of the day, this man has hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of products in his shop. That takes time, that takes research, that takes money in order to produce all that inventory. I give Eddie a lot of credit for starting where he started, from ending up where he is at, and doing everything that he can to have as much variety as he does, considering the fact that he is not one of the biggest players in the game. So Eddie, shout out to you. Max, shout out to you. So glad that everything is going well with you guys, and I hope it continues to stay that way. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Talk soon. I'll catch you all at the next video.